Hi, so today I'm making soap dough. I've got all my oils and butters melted and mixed with the lye water solution. And now I'm going to show you the natural colors that I'm going to be using to make the soap dough. I have all my soaps planned out months ahead, so I know what colors that I need. I'm starting off with 2 of these will be uncolored, and that's what makes my white soap dough. And for the first color, this is red Brazilian clay, and this is a tone of orange that I use. And for another red kind of orange tone is the rhubarb root, and that was an infusion that you saw in the jar there where I infused it in the olive oil, and I will link that video in the description box below where I made this exact infusion. But this is for making kind of like a reddish, more of like a reddish orange actually. And for brown soap dough, which I never have enough of, apparently, is cocoa powder. I use organic cocoa powder. I mix it with a little bit of olive oil, as well as I did with all the clays in here, the red Brazilian clay, and as you see in a little bit, the French green clay. It just helps it mix in better, especially cocoa powder, which tends to be very, very clumpy. And here is the French green clay, which makes a nice olive green. I already had some soap dough to use up that was a different shade of green from spirulina. So this was a more fall colored tone that I needed for August and September and some of October's soaps. And this is just a little bit of extra brown that I had. I didn't want to waste any of it. The last color is my indigo infusion. Again, the same video where I infused the rhubarb root, so you'll see that too. And I'm coming down to the end of my indigo jar, so there'll be some more being made here real soon for holiday soaps. And when you do soap dough, you always want to cover it up with some plastic wrap. And don't worry, you can use this plastic wrap the next day to help wrap them all up. I hate using plastic, but it's kind of necessary, and I reuse my plastic wrap for a long time until it's just absolutely worn out. So this is the next day, and this first color that I'm going to wrap up is the cocoa powder brown. And this is the red Brazilian clay first. And the uncolored, which is the white. It still looks a little yellow now because I just made it the day before, but as it sits wrapped up, it becomes more and more white. And here are the indigo ones. And indigo is kind of like activated charcoal in that if you put them in these individual molds, they ash a little bit. But if I pulled these blocks apart, you would be able to see that they're darker blue inside. And these are the rhubarb root infusion. So they turned out a little bit lighter orange than the red Brazilian clay. And lastly, I'm wrapping up the French green clay. It's just a very subtle light olive green. And I do label them with old stickers. It just helps for me to know when I made them and what exactly they are. Especially some of the oranges, you can kind of lose track of which one is which. So it does help a lot. And thank you so much for watching today and having an interest in natural colors. I'll link my other natural color soap dough videos in the description. And these are all for soaps that are coming out next week. On August 8th is the shop update. And there'll be lots of new things then. Take care.